I had the most delicious beef kebabs at my local Lebanese restaurant. And the thing that made it quite unique was the addition of eggplant. So I'm going to try to replicate it for you today. I need 500 grams of certified organic beef mince, so a really nice good quality one. This one's quite lean too, and we'll place that into a bowl. Now we need to add lots of flavours, and that's what I love about Lebanese food. It's really, really bold in their flavours. So 2 cloves of garlic, but they're quite large, so I'll just mince in one. And using a fine grater for this, because garlic is quite intense in flavour, you don't want big chunks of it, so mincing it is best and always fresh. Some cumin, so a good pinch of cumin. And some dried mint. Now, dried mint is very different to fresh mint. I'll garnish with fresh mint, but to get a really good kick, I like the addition of dried mint. And some crunchy pine nuts. What I'll do is just use a sharp knife and run it through a few times just to break them up a little bit. If it's too chunky, what will happen is the mince won't stick onto the skewers. We don't want it to be too fine though, because we still want a little bit of texture. So 3 or 4 times through is plenty. That looks good. In it goes. And then a little bit of zest. So lemon zest straight over the top. I will use some of the lemon juice later on to garnish, but not at this stage, because what will happen is it'll start to cook our beef mince, and we don't want that. We want to do that straight on the grill. Last addition is red onion that I'll finely chop. Because onion is quite harsh in flavour, I'll use just half of this one. That's plenty. Now we need a few binding agents, so a little bit of breadcrumb, and then the addition of 1 whole egg. Now I'm going to get my hands in there and give it a really, really good mix to combine all the flavours, and then I'll just clean my hands and add a pinch of salt, and then again give it a good mix. And you want this mixture to become slightly sticky so it sticks on to our skewers. I want to divide this into about 16 balls, and I'll place them on a tray, and I just want it to firm up a little bit before we mould them onto our skewers. So place it in the fridge for about 15 minutes. Now this beef has been in the fridge for about 15 minutes. It's firmed up, so it's just going to be a little easier to put onto our skewers. I'm using some wooden skewers. I've soaked them for an hour or so in some water just so they don't splinter when we put them on the grill. I've also been salting my eggplant. Now, because this was quite a large eggplant, I chopped it up and I placed it in a sieve, and by doing this, it's going to remove some of the bitterness. If you are using small eggplant, you don't need to do this stage. You can just chop it up and it doesn't have that bitter flavour. Look at how much water comes out of that eggplant though after you've salted it. Now I want to cut this into smaller pieces, so we're just going to cut this quarter in half. We'll get our little skewer, a piece of eggplant first, straight down the centre of the triangle, all the way down. And then we'll get our meat, and you don't need to skewer it. All we need to do is wrap it around our sticks. And you almost want it to stick to that eggplant. So I'll repeat the process. So I've got 3 or 4 pieces of eggplant and 2 pieces of beef mince. Now it's time to cook our kebabs, so I just need to put a little bit of olive oil over each of them. Just give it a good rub over it. We don't want it to stick to a grill. And when you are using a grill pan just like this, don't add the oil to it because it'll just start to stew the meat. So we just want a nice thin film of oil. And then we'll place it on our grill And just allow it to cook for about 2 minutes on that side before you turn it. It is mincemeat, so it's going to be delicate when you turn it. So just use a little spatula after 2 minutes, turn it over, cook it for another 2 minutes, and then repeat the process another 2 minutes on each side, and then they'll be perfectly cooked. Okay, these beef kebabs look fantastic. You can see that the eggplant is just tender and they've got a really nice charred mark on it, which is going to give it a lovely smoky flavour. I'll turn this off now and we can plate up. You can serve this in the middle of the table with a big bowl of tabbouleh, or you can plate up the way I'm going to be doing it. Some nice Greek yogurt on some Lebanese bread, and I'll just smear a little bit of that in the centre. And then I've just made a really basic couscous style tabbouleh. It's got more couscous in it than the herbs because I want to put some more herbs on top. So we'll just spread a little bit of that in the centre. And then you have to eat this straight off the grill when it's still piping hot. We'll place one of these gorgeous beef kebabs in the centre. And then just to garnish it, I have extra herbs here, some fresh parsley, and some fresh mint. It doesn't only look great, but that real freshness almost gives it that salad feel when we wrap it up. And then I love a little extra olive oil to dress those herb leaves. So easy. A really delicious Lebanese-inspired beef and eggplant kebab. Great to feed a crowd, or if you want a really easy barbecue-style dinner.